Mr. Will Barrett. How have you been?
I've been good, Jeff. It's been a little while. Had some time away from the cast, but glad to be back talking with you again.
Yeah, we kind of went dormant there for a little bit, but we're back.
It was
Um,
it was a good time of year to do that. We won't spoil it just now and tell them what time of year it was, because this.
yeah, it could be any time of year by the time somebody's listening to this episode. But yeah, welcome back to The Charging Curve with Will and Jeff. Did I remember the name correctly? Are we at least off to that good of a start?
Yeah. No, that's still the
Yeah,
name.
good. Good.
At least in this part of my life. That's what I'll call myself.
Forgot the turn. I'm still working through some issues with location here. I need a better lighting.
Are you at a school? It looks like a chalkboard
No.
behind you.
No, that's those are blinds. I should have opened that actually. You could see out into the Dutch landscape. But yeah, welcome back to the Charging Curve with Will and Jeff, brought to you lovingly by EV Charge Works and Strategy V. So we've got I think a couple really cool things to chat about. But before we get into the technical stuff, wanted to share a couple things that I have explored or experienced over here across the pond. So let me share these, and uh, we can get a reaction. So I'm just going to share my whole screen. It's just two other videos over here. Well, I may have shared one of these with you already, but I've come to learn that folks in the Netherlands really enjoy blowing stuff up, and it really came to a head over New Year's. So this video on the left, there was stuff happening like 2 weeks leading up to New Year's Eve, but after it actually hit midnight, it got absolutely crazy. And what you're about to see is just a whole bunch of people doing this themselves. This is not like a sanctioned thing or professionals that are doing this. This is just a whole everybody on the neighborhood around the city, and you can kind of see and hear what went on. It was actually, I don't know if the volume's going to come, which is a shame. It was overwhelming. That's okay.
That is one of the finest examples of a community, coming
I mean, yeah,
together to just have an amazing time. So I
yeah,
love it.
perfect.
And are the fireworks, are those legal, or is it kind of like, do people just kind of do it and everyone turns their head?
Well, maybe this is more of a don't ask, don't tell kind of. No,
Hmm.
this year was the last year that it is supposed to be legal. So I think there were some people that went a little overboard. You never know what could happen. Next year might be even more than this because there's always the counterintuitive, like, oh, well, now it's legal. Now I'm even more interested. Sorry, now it's illegal. Now I'm even more interested. I guess we'll find out. But uh, over here on the right, so these are just old milk cans that you can see, or melkboes in in Dutch. So this guy that you see here is holding one, and they use carbide. Have you heard of carbide before, Will?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I
Okay.
looked it up after you showed me this video the first time.
Yeah, and so it's like a solid. I think it's actually baked, but when you mix carbide, calcium carbide, with water, it releases acetylene gas, and so you mix some little chunks of carbide with acetylene gas inside of a milk can, and there's little holes to light it. And this this happens all over the place. all over the place. It's crazy. So this guy's holding this huge milk can without the
Right,
audio.
right, right by his face too. It is
Oh
better
yeah,
with audio.
yeah. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, quite an experience over here.
Yeah, that's wild.
So what have you been up to? You blow anything up over the holidays?
I didn't, and I kind of feel like I missed out. Um, they had a big pack of New Year's Eve fireworks for sale at the Sam's Club. But and I was like thinking about it, and then I looked at it, and it was actually just like a variety of different like sparklers and those little poppet things you throw at the ground. So it wasn't really worth the spend. I didn't have any old milk jugs around, so just had to go with I guess blew the cork out of some champagne bottles. So
Yep. Yeah, that
that was that
counts.
made that made a noise, and there was you know sparkly bubbles, I guess.
That counts.
Um,
Is it?
yeah, no, yeah, but went and I checked out CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. So there were lots of lights there. No, no fireworks when I was there, but I got a couple of photos. I could pop up my screen and share those if I can figure this out real quick. I'll show this. All right. So, hey, CES. So I took a bunch of photos, but the ones I'm just going to show here, I kind of threw together, is the electric vehicles that I saw there, right? So they had these running around the city, driverless. So like in traffic, running down like South Las Vegas Boulevard, running down the strip, shuttling people. Um, People would like when they stopped at lights, like there's a lot of traffic on the strip, like lots of cars, but people would just like go right out in the middle of traffic and like walk around them, take pictures. It's kind of like I don't know, it was pretty interesting to just see this odd looking vehicle, people sitting in it like facing each other, and it's just kind of moving down the street, no drivers at all.
Pretty cool.
So that was something to see.
I've seen those in operation before. I can't remember which city, but what's the what brand runs that?
Zook.
Zoot. Zook.
I think
Zook.
it's with
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Zook. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty neat. I got a terrible picture of this one next to it, but it was basically it's a camper, 100% electric. Had like just huge pop outs. It like the way that they're displaying it, it looks like one of those like long full-size campers, but it actually like folds up into something that's like the size of a box truck kind of. So
Really
yeah, it like
neat.
condenses and then it can like just pop out, kind of accordion out into this much larger thing. This one was the collaboration between Sony and or Panasonic and Hyundai, I think. The Alfie. So that was kind of neat. These ones, super fun, electric scooters that they have all
Those
rigged
are
out to look kind of
awesome.
old timey. Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, so these look like a lot of fun. They had a bunch of them. This one from a company in your neck of the woods, coming out of Norway there, or the Netherlands. Um, and like this one was super cool. Super efficient. So like it's not available in the US yet, but they had it at CES. They're kind of seeing what's interested, but like the thing that I took away from it, 190-mile range and like a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Yeah.
So like efficiency, I mean it's a small car, it's pretty minimalistic. The inside of it, super cool looking. From what they tell me, it's pretty quick, but like the efficiency of it, and the way it's like designed and like laid out, they've actually got the battery packs kind of running through the center instead of on the floorboards for like center of gravity and stuff. Just like they did some really interesting things with this car, even, for an electric car, and they got to a level of efficiency that like we don't see here at all.
I was
Like,
Yeah, I was able to get over here and see one of those cars, and I drove one of them over here on a trip quite a while ago. But I was also extremely impressed with what they were doing, and it's a shop of, I don't know, maybe 20 or 25 people. A lot of the stuff that goes into that car, they are making themselves. Um, and like you said, they've taken the opportunity much more than conventional automakers to really rethink, like, okay, even suspension components, yes, it's always been done this way, but because we have this massive change to powertrain, and it gives us, like you said, a lot more flexibility with what we're doing, from a center of gravity perspective and weight distribution. How would we rethink doing this, and what does that mean for the car, and simplifying it, making it, um, better dynamically, but also easier to produce and less expensive. So yeah, I was incredibly impressed by those guys.
yeah, Carsey, I think is the name.
Car ice. I should pull that up, and we can
Car
share
Ice.
some of these things in the show notes probably.
Yeah, and
Car.
they told me that they're sold out for 2026, and they sold everything that they were able to produce last year. They've got orders for everything that they think that they can produce this year. And so yeah, it's like you said, it's a smaller shop, small group, but like what an amazing thing. I think that's one of the cool things about, I think also like, I don't know that we've talked about it here, but with electric vehicles, it opens up opportunities for people to come and create vehicles. They don't have to build an engine. Um, so it's really interesting, and then to see what people do with it. Like you said, it's a totally different powertrain. It's laid out differently. It takes up different space segments, has different weight characteristics and stuff like that. And what does that mean for what you can do with a car?
Yep.
Plus, I really like the retro kind of styling of it.
Yep. I loved it too. It makes you feel really tall when you're next to it, right?
Yeah, it sure does. Doesn't
But
happen
yeah,
to me a
really, really
lot, but
cool. Caris. I don't remember actually how they pronounce that, but Caris or Caris Cars.com, and that's the model. It's the TC2. TC2. Yeah, super fun to drive. I can vouch for that.
yeah. And then the other stuff I took note of there, also electric, but there were robots everywhere.
Hmm.
They had cowboy robots. They had like house assistant robots that would help you like fold laundry and stuff. They had drink making robots. This one was kind of scary, and I do have some videos and stuff, but I didn't load them up. But they had boxing robots, which like
Yeah, saw that.
uh, this one I think was a nurse robot. I didn't. They had other robots that I didn't also take pictures of, but I think this one was like a safe kind of very humanistic lady robot.
More for
And they had
healthcare.
massage robots. Yeah, yeah.
A massage robot.
Yeah, robot giving someone well, not a real person, giving another robot a massage because if
Got to
your
take care of your
robot's
robot.
like folding your laundry, uh, but yeah, so cowboy hat robots was a big theme there too. So I don't know exactly what that's about, but yeah, and these guys, that was the other thing, battery powered. So like which like also like I don't know. I guess this one might be plug in here that's doing the massaging, but like these boxing ones, no cord. A
Yeah,
little bit apprehensive about that. I like
yeah.
my prefer my robots on a short power cord.
Want to be able to unplug them if something goes wrong.
Yeah, get away.
So it looks like that was fun, and you got out of Vegas safely.
Made it out alive, so that was good. I was sick for about a week after, but that's
The
that's
price
the
you
time
pay
of year.
for a
Yeah,
good
that's
time
right.
in Vegas. Hmm. Well, cool. Um, yeah, that looked from some of the coverage that I saw of the show. There were a lot of cool things like that. You captured a lot of it. Um, anything else to chat about from CES?
It's huge. If you ever go, plan to spend lay out your route, do some research, and plan to spend a couple of days with sore feet and legs. Wear comfortable shoes.
Was it all under one roof, or was it in multiple?
Yeah, multiple. It took up every like the convention center's broken into different sort of halls, and it was in every single one of them. And that spans like I think a couple of miles. And then it was also took up the whole Venetian Convention Center, which is a casino that's down the way a little bit, and then they had smaller things and activities going on in pretty much all of the major casinos on the strip had either breakout sessions, some small exhibits and stuff like that. So it was yeah, took up it was a lot.
Well, we can switch gears to it's related, but kind of follows up nicely with the TC2 and what we're talking about with kind of rethinking an EV. This is another so that the car ace TC2 is from Voorhout in the Netherlands, which is a little bit south of Amsterdam, probably 40 minutes. Um, this is an article from the University of Eindhoven, which is in the far south of the Netherlands, but another another Dutch tie-in here. But it's similar to the TC2. They weren't going for kind of a retro, super dynamic, excellent handling take on a car. Um, it was really more about complete sustainability and serviceability. To be able to, if you need to replace a door panel, you order a door panel and take it off and slap a new one on. It's not something you have to go to a. The idea is it wasn't. It's almost entirely not a vehicle that you have to go to a specialized service or maintenance facility to keep in proper running order.
That's awesome.
Yep. So, have not seen this one in person. Have not driven it. It looks pretty cool, but
And
yeah,
that's probably like one of one in that picture, right? Like
e- more than likely, yeah. So it's probably this specific car very expensive, but the idea was to actually make this in a way that it is palatable from a price point to consumers, but then gives you as the owner, driver of this thing, much more of an ability to change pieces, parts, and keep it running. So kind of a Lego car for the future. Well,
yeah,
maybe
it's oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, maybe not the right analogy, but that sort of concept, right? Yeah, if the whole thing is built out of Legos, then you and I and a whole lot of other people can find the right Legos to take off and put back in place. And
Yeah, and I think it's kind of taking that it's taking one of the huge benefits of electric vehicles, which is lower ongoing operating costs in the form of maintenance and fueling that you get from having an electric drivetrain, being able to fill it up with the power that you have coming out of your or the power that you have going to your house anyways. It takes that to the next level in the sense that it's modular now you can, presumably as it scales up and things like that, you order a part online, shows up at your house, and you swap it. And it's having access to, providing access as part of the vehicle purchase to diagnostic tools that you need to know, like, hey, it's module 3 that needs to be replaced, and here's where I buy that, and this is what it costs, and I can just, you know, presumably go in, unclip a couple of clips, pop it in, pop it out, or pop it out, pop it in, and so you're not beholden to, finding a specialist, going there, paying them a premium, paying them their markup on probably the parts and some huge markup on labor. So they're taking that reduction in ongoing operating costs to the next level by enabling people through the design of the vehicle to be able to, you know, self-service, which is just, I think that's great.
Yep. Yeah, somebody who's done a lot of, I mean, I do a lot of work and maintenance and stuff generally, but that's definitely something that does appeal to me. Knowing that it's designed to have that simplicity baked in from the start gives you a lot of, I think, a lot of comfort if that's important to you. And probably, I imagine the team probably came to this concept because, like you said, Will, you have an EV, you have like all the changes in powertrain technology that have happened over the past few years, and you've got now vehicles that I I fuel them myself. I have solar panels, and I fuel this car myself. Why shouldn't I be able to? I mean, theoretically, even change the motor, change battery modules, things in a if you're working on an RC car, it's different scale and there's some different safety concerns, but it's the same concept. So um, yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and the technology lends itself more to that too, because like a motor in an electric vehicle is much more manageable than an engine. Um, from a weight, size, kind of standpoint, the motors I'm sure that they're using in these, you know, probably doesn't, it doesn't require a lift. It doesn't require specific, strapping and multiple people to handle the thing around and stuff like that. Yeah. And the other thing I think of when I think or when I hear things like modular, including body panels, is like, oh man, what does that look like in the aftermarket? Like, all the different like anybody can make a cell phone case because they know how big it needs to be and what it needs to
Yeah,
clip onto.
yeah,
So if people out there know, what something needs to be, like what kind of crazy looking door panels, side panels, end up on these cars because
for
someone
sure.
decided to, you know, print up something fancy or something like that.
Exactly. We haven't really, I don't think, touched on this, but just the size, like you're talking about, the size of an electric motor to do really fun things in a passenger vehicle, they're not very big. That and they're not super heavy. They're like you said, very manageable. Batteries taken as a whole can be quite large and heavy, but if you're doing it with a bunch of modules that are all put together that make up the entirety of the battery, then that becomes just as manageable as well from a maintenance standpoint. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, super exciting. I hope to see more of this and from this team, and I don't know, this would be a really fun one to see kind of go from concept into some type of reality.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find my way down to Eindhoven in the near future and check this one out firsthand. I pulled this up as well. So as I mentioned, believe this is still on the screen here. Cariscars.com. Caris. I apologize to these folks. I should have I should have figured out the correct pronunciation.
I
But yeah,
know they
that's
said it to me and I repeated it in my head like 5 times, but that was half of a Vegas trip. And
Yeah. But yeah, super. I don't know if you talked to the founder. Super nice guy. Um, really cool story. All right. Well, I think we have given ourselves a nice little intro. Get back on the horse, knock some rust off. It is Hump Day. Happy Hump Day to you, or Taint of the Week, as I've heard it called. Will. Um, so not only are we back in the podcast business, we're halfway through the week. So congratulations to both of us.
yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, if and I would just like to say, like if folks are liking what they're hearing, if you've got a cool car or concept that you'd like us to kind of talk about, something that interests you, if you've got a brand that you're looking to build and really get out there in front of a cutting edge and compelling audience, reach out to us. We're happy to take on additional topics. Also happy to take on sponsors if you're interested. We can put a little segment in there. Talk about whatever you want us to.
If somebody was going to send us some information, Will, how might they do that?
It's pretty simple. They can pull up the email program of their choosing and type in the charging curve at gmail.com. Type out their thoughts and sentiments and send them on over to us. The
Perfect.
inbox is monitored.
It is. And we look forward to hearing from you. All right. Thanks, Will. Glad to be back,
Thank you,
and
Jeff. Yeah.
we'll start doing this more regularly again now that we're solidly into the new year. And I'll fix my
Yeah,
setup
people
because this video I could.
people people have been asking, when's the next podcast going to drop? Now we can put their nerves at ease and a little treat for the eardrums.
Exactly right. All right, man. Have yourself a lovely day. We'll see y'all next time.
Alrighty, talk to you later.